Hello everyone, welcome to the new class of organizational behavior. Today the topic we are going to discuss is organizational culture. We had already discussed about organizational culture in part 1, and in that topic, in that video, I have covered about definition and meaning of organizational culture, the process of socialization, types of organizational culture, and what is the different importance of organizational culture in organization. So these were the topics which were already covered in part 1. You can go in the card and the description, and you can just follow the link and just go through the chapter. So in today's topic, in today's video, we are going to discuss about the organizational culture part 2. In that topic, in today's topic, we are going to discuss the rest of the topic. So first of all, we are going to discuss about how employees learn culture. So let's start with the topic. So what are the ways through which the employees learn culture? There are several ways, such as stories, ritual, material symbols, languages. So these are the things through which the organization just pass it on the culture to the employees. So these are the various ways through which the employees know about the culture of the organization. So how employees learn culture? Stories, by depicting the past event of the organization. Some organizations actually try to manage this element of cultural learning. So through cultural learning, many of the employees in any organization gets to know about the various stories, the ritual and the material symbol, and through various languages, and the employees get to learn about the culture. Then the ritual are basically the repetitive sequential activities reinforcing the value of the organization, such as morning meetings, the early morning meeting, sunrise meeting, late evening meetings. So these are the rituals. Then material symbols, conveying social equality, desired organization behavior by the top management. So that these type of material symbols are being transferred by the top level of management, and these symbols can be like various logos and the punchlines. So these are the material symbols. Then language is again based on the acceptance and preservance of the culture. So these are the ways of learning a culture, and these are the important, you can say, the important ways. So you have to learn it. Now, what are the levels of culture? According to SCHEIN'S model, there are 3 important levels of culture. The number 1 is artifacts, then there is exposed belief and values, then there are underlying assumptions. So these are the level of culture. Then SCHEIN'S model, it defines the organization structure or culture as the deepest, strongest aspect of organizational life. According to SCHEIN'S, the organization culture is deep rooted in the organization structure. The culture has 3 cognitive levels which one can measure. The first level is where the organization attribute can be seen, felt and heard by the unintended observer, such as behavior, color, furnishing, recognition, etc. So this is the number 1 level, which can be known as like the artifacts. Then there are the second level. It is about the professed culture of the organization members, like such as slogan, flyers, list, statements. So these are the symbols through which the culture is being professed in the front of employees and in front of other stakeholders. Then there is third level, in which lays the organization tactic assumptions. These elements have unseen, subconscious and unspoken role of the organization. So these are the core values which are already being laid down in the fundamentals of the organization. SCHEIN'S model gives an opportunity to measure these levels and to compare the link between them. So in this model, what we do, we just analyze each and every element which are the part of this model, and then we compare the link between them, and we just try to get the opportunity, which we just try to understand about the opportunities of measuring the different level and comparing these link between them. If the link are strong, then there is a strong organizational culture. So it also depends upon the very strong link of the various organizational culture. Then So what do you think? Do organizations have uniform culture? So no, in most of the organization there are not uniform culture. They are mostly can be divided into two important culture type, that is dominant culture and subculture. We have already discussed about dominant and subculture. So dominant culture is the core values that are shared by majority of organizational member, but subculture is the part of dominant culture. These are the mini culture within an organization, typically defined by department designation and geographical separation. So these subcultures are the dominant culture. They can be related with the dominant culture, or they can be completely opposite of the dominant culture. So this is the difference between the dominant and the subculture. The consequence and implementation of organizational culture. So this is the another topic, another very important topic. What are the consequences and implication of organizational culture? Let's discuss about it. Organizational culture gives the competitive advantage and financial success. What is the meaning of competitive advantage? Competitive advantage is the advantage which a company has over the competitors. So and the financial success can be gained by the organizational culture. Then it also enhances the productivity, quality and morale of the employees. Then it also increases the level of innovation in the organization. Then compatibility of mergers and acquisition also increases when we have a strong organizational culture. Then the personal organizational fit. If our organizational culture believes in the person organization fit, then it also boosts with this concept of the personal organization fit as well. Then direction of leadership activity. Organization through organization culture, it also provides the direction to leadership activity, that it also promotes the leadership ability in the organization itself. Then what is the meaning of organization politics? Organization politics refers to intentional behavior that are designed to enhance or protect a person's influence and self-interest. So it is intentional behaviors, and why it is designed? It is designed to enhance and protect a person's influence and self-interest. So that is organization politics. Politics is organization politics is very vast topic. So we are just trying to understand it in very brief and precise way. So these are different definitions of organization politics. Politics in an organization refers to those activities that are not required as part of one's formal role in the organization, but that influence or attempt to influence the distribution of advantage and disadvantage within the organization. So why we are trying to study about organization politics? Because organization politics is also a part of organization culture. When we discuss about organization culture, there is somehow organization politics also affects that organization culture. So organization politics is a way of those activities which are part of the formal role in the organization, and they are trying to influence or not to influence the advantage and disadvantage of different people who are involved in the organization. So that is organization politics according to Farrell and Peterson. Then politics is the way managers use power for personal gain. Managers at higher level use politics to acquire more power. Politics thus is the way of working in a manner that a person is able to influence the behavior of others. So who can utilize the organization politics? It can be only utilized by them who has the power of doing that. So that power is only in the hands of the managers who are responsible for activities of the organization. So that is why the organization politics is being done by the managers who are the part of the organization. So, and they has the power of determining and influencing the behavior of others. That is why they can do the organizational politics. Now, what are the features of organization politics? Organization politics has the following feature. First, it aims as personal benefit arising out of use of power, not organizational benefit. So when we thought about personal benefit but not about the organization benefit, it is related with the organization politics. It is a deliberate effort on the part of the people to use politics as a source of winding their power base. So it also uses by people who want to increase their power base, and they use politics as a source of that. It is not part of the person's job requirement, it is used to benefit a person. So organization politics can also be concerned with benefiting only one person. So it is also used in that way. It can be legitimate or illegitimate political behavior. So it can be legal or it cannot be legal. It depends upon the behavior of the person or the political behavior of the person. It moves against rationality. Decisions are based on compromises and bargaining and not rational act. So when we talk about rationality, so if that decision will be rational, that will not be a part of politics. Okay, so most of the time the organization politics moves against the rationality, and decisions are based on the compromises or the bargain. It is not rational act, or it is not just. It is kind of partial. Then politics take place when an individual recognizes that achievement of his goal is influenced by behavior of others. So most of the time politics, the people who are the part of the organization, they used to do the politics because they think that the individual recognition and achievement is influenced by others. So it is important that they do politics and they affect the behavior of others so that they will be able to gain some power, or they gain some achievement by their own. So that is these are the important features of organization politics. Now we are moving towards the another topic, that is consequences of organization politics. So what are the negative consequences? What are the negative outcome for the organization politics? Through organization politics can positive outcome for people who engage in ethical politics. So we can distinguish the organization politics into negative and positive, and it can be ethical in nature if we do not have politics skills to do not face the positive outcome. So it will be better if we use the organization politics in a better way, in an ethical way, just to increase the competition rather than increasing the negative conflict between people. The negative consequences of organization political behavior can be follows, such as low job satisfaction. So organization politics also will increase the lower job satisfaction among the people, because through personal gains are achieved, people who achieve promotion or reward will not be on the basis of their performance, but maybe because of the basis of the politics they are playing in the organization. So because of that, who want to achieve targets on the basis of merit but not on the politics, he will not be satisfied. So because of that type of political behavior is unavoidable course of action. So that will again give the low job satisfaction for the people who are involved in the organization and they want to play a fair game. Then high stress. If a person does not engage in political behavior on the ground of morality and ethics, but he loses promotion opportunity because others suppress him through politics. So if there is a lot of political atmosphere in the organization itself, some people who are more ethical and who are more based on the morality, they will feel the high stress situation because they cannot again do the organization politics, and that will increase the job stress. Organization conflict. Again, organization politics also leads to the organization conflict because of the behavior. It can be that behavior can be irrational, that can be non-measurable standard, and waste of time and energy also. It is also adding maybe not in the professional growth of the individual or the organization. So it will increase the organization conflict and also increase the negative effect on the productivity. So it will reduce the productivity of the organization because the time and energy is wasted in other direction. Then goal displacement. Why goal displacement? Because through organization politics, it will enhance the power base, and some people will use that to promote their personal goal rather than the organizational goal. So that result will be goal displacement. People may distract from the achieving of the organization goal, and they will consider that achieving the individual goal is much more of beneficial than achieving the organization goal. So goal displacement is also a negative consequence of the organization conflict. Then low performance. Again, we talked about the productivity, the negativity, then the increase in negative effect of the productivity. That is also a low performance. That is related with the low performance of people because of the particular environment. That will reduce the motivation of the people, and because of that, the job performance, the productivity will also be reduced. So these are the negative consequences, and then again there can be the high absenteeism and turnover rate in the organizational employees, because they have very low job performance and they have low job satisfaction. Then they have very high job stress, and because of that, that will increase the high absenteeism and turnover within the organization, and because of that the personal cost of the recruitment, selection, training will increase. So that is the major important you can say the negativity of the entire process. Factor affecting organization politics, then there are different factors through which the organization politics is affecting. So there is competition for power, discretionary authority, then ambiguity in organization. So these are the factors which are affecting the organization politics. So how the competition of power, when there is so many competition of power and everyone want to gain the maximum power, that will also affect the organization politics. Then there is discretionary authority, that means that nobody knows that who is having the authority or who is having the judgment capacity. Then this will also affect the organization politics. Then ambiguity in organization, it will also, when we don't know about the role and responsibility of the people, then it will also generate the organizational politics. So these are the factors which are affecting the organization politics, such as subjective evaluation of performance. When we don't have a we don't have a proper channel of evaluating the performance of employees, so that will also increase the organization politics. So if we want to reduce the organization politics in organization, we should work on various areas, and so that we can easily reduce the organization politics, or we can convert the negative organization politics into the positive one. So these are the important thing we should keep in the mind. Then saturation in promotion. So when people think that they are already saturated, they have no further growth in their job or they're in promotion, so they will move towards the organization politics. So these are the important ways of organization politics. Then there is joint decision making. So when there is a very large organization and everyone is involved in the decision making process, because of that, maybe somebody wants that it is important for them to mold the goal, because they want to achieve their own individual goal in lieu of organization goal. So maybe because of joint decision making, that organization might be affecting, that organization politics might be affecting. So these are the important reasons of organization politics. So how we are going to manage the organization politics? So much of the political behavior is caused because of the lack of clarity in job definition, rules, procedure and authority. So if we can easily clarify the job definition, if we can clarify the role definition, and we can minimize the favorism, that will decrease the organization politics, and that will help the people to increase the commitment in the organization. When top people are next is when top people is that abuse the system, exploit opportunity for their own benefits, or non-performance reward criteria. So these type of when there is organization culture will not be strong enough, the organization politics will increase. So we have to think about the organization culture. We have to try to make our organization more functional rather than dysfunctional, and we should try to discourage the different which is not dysfunctional politics. We should try to discourage it. Then the management can take direct action to curb political behavior. So it can be taken, and proper action can be taken by the management as well. Then when politics deter the organization from the pursuit of its objective, management action is required. It is curtail offensive tactic when the first sign become evident. So as far as possible, there must be objective criteria for setting objectives for individual departments. So it is important for us that we should determine the different objective for organization as well as individual. So when objectives are clearly specified, any deviation from that will be obvious, and it is easier to control that deviation. So these are the ways through which we can manage the various organizational politics in the organization culture as well. So in next chapter we will going to discuss about conflict. What is conflict and what are the various ways, or what are the different type of conflict, how we can reduce the conflict, how we can make a negative conflict into a positive conflict. So these are the way. I think this is the end of the chapter of this topic, organization culture and organization politics. I hope you like this video. Please let us know in the comment section. If you need further explanation in any of the topic, let us know in the comment section. We will help you with that. Thank you so much. Keep on watching. Keep on